Yeah, y'all know what this is. We back at it.
Hey, what's up, family? This is FoolyMatic, and I'm back with another video. Today's video is going to be on the East teams that are in the hunt for the playoffs. This will be teams 6 through 11, and then I will have another part to this, which will be teams 1 through 5 of the East. But I wanted to kind of segment it so it's not too many teams, and then I could touch on a couple different points. Plus, the videos aren't going to be that long. So I hope you enjoy the highlights, and I hope you enjoy what I'm saying. Okay, so as you see in the graphic, the Nets are the number 6 team. They're at 29 and 28. Last year, they finished 12th in the East, which, as you can see, they're really having a good year this year compared to last year and the last couple of years. D'Angelo Russell, the man, ice in his veins, everything like that. He has 20 points per game. Then Spencer Dinwiddie, he's coming along with 17.2 points per game. Now, being in the 6th spot is kind of crazy because for the last few games, I believe it was the last month or so to 2 months, LeVert has been out. He just came back off an injury. He's been giving them 17.1 points per game. So in those close games, he's going to be a difference. It's going to be nice to see the Nets continue their success into the playoffs. It seems like right now, unless they have a catastrophic injury and or they just stop playing like a team, it seems like they're going to make the playoffs, but the real question is how far are they going to get in the playoffs? Are they even going to win a playoff game? And so forth. Some other notables on the Nets are Ed Davis and Jared Allen. They are the leading rebounders, and so you see that's 5 players where they're getting at least, give or take, 60 points, plus they're getting at least 20 rebounds a game. And so that core group of people is really setting the Nets apart, at least from what they were. Seems like they're fighting a little harder. So, yes, we will see what happens in the playoffs. We all know the playoffs are a different animal. Moving on, the 7th team in the East right now are the Charlotte Hornets. One of the reasons why I think the Nets are surprised because they are above the Hornets. The Hornets, they do have Kemba Walker. He's a great player. We all know he's an all-star. I will shout out, all-star game is in Charlotte this year. It's great to see Kemba on an all-star team. He is averaging 25.2 points per game. And then another one of my favorite players, Jeremy Lamb, 15.2 points per game. And then they are also getting contributions from Marvin Williams, 10 points per game. And then TP, for those who don't know, TP is Tony Parker, 9.6 points per game. Now, someone that people do know a lot from college, but his work in the NBA as well, Cody Zeller, he's giving them 6.6 rebounds per game, which is a great little core. That's at least, 25, that's 40 points right there, plus another 10 and another 10, that's 60 points. And so with that, that's your core group of people giving you a good amount of scores, plus your people off the bench. I couldn't give all the stats, but it seems like they have a core group of players that are giving at least 9 to 10 points a game. And so going forward in the playoffs, you never know who's going to have a big come-out game, and if they all can have a great game together, it's just going to be one of those great moments, great wins for the team. Hopefully when they do get to the playoffs, when we do get to the playoffs, it's going to be a struggle for them because right now they would be facing the Toronto Raptors, which that's going to be a very, very extremely hard out. Now moving on, this is just looking at the stats, this is my most surprising. I feel as if the Pistons, just off of the talent that they have Blake Griffin, they have Reggie Jackson, they have Andre Drummond. Now Blake, he's averaging 26 points per game with 7 rebounds, and then Andre Drummond, he has 17 points per game and 15 rebounds. You see he's getting that double-double. And then Reggie Jackson, he has 14.8 points per game. And I say that it's a surprise because to me, just personally, in my opinion, I feel it's just the Pistons' talent, pure talent on paper. They have a lot more talent than the Nets and the Hornets. And so it's it's going to be a struggle for them if they get Giannis Antetokounmpo as their matchup, being the 8th seed, the 1 seed right now, the Milwaukee Bucks. But we will see if they can come up a couple of spots and maybe take over the Hornets. They only are separated from the Nets and the Hornets. They're only separated by 1 loss in the loss column. The Nets have just pure numbers. They've played more games because the Pistons don't have enough wins. And so this is why you have to wait until really the end of the season or closer to the end of the season, because you never know how those numbers are really going to work out once everyone has their excuse me, I'm kind of losing my voice, but once they have all of their games played, we'll see who really comes out on top, just because it's so close in the East right now, right before All-Star break. Moving on, we see that the Miami Heat are in 9th place. Josh Richardson has 17.6 points per game. Hassan Whiteside, he has 12.5 rebounds per game. And then D Wade on his farewell tour has 13.8 points per game. Now, I hope that the Miami Heat can make the playoffs. Right now, they're sitting right outside a playoff spot at the 9th seed. But it would really be exciting. I think the NBA would really benefit from the Miami Heat being in the playoffs. We know D Wade is going to take it to the next level if they do get in the playoffs, and so I'm personally looking out for that. They're 25-29, which puts them at the same record as the Pistons, who are in the 8th spot, and so they have a really good chance of making it to the playoffs. And I feel as if, like the Pistons, they have a better chance than the Nets or the Hornets of winning a playoff series. Now, because they will most likely end up as a lower seed, them having to go up against the big boys as in the Milwaukee Bucks or the Toronto Raptors is really going to be hard. I feel as if Toronto and then the Bucks are going to be a hard out this year, especially in the earlier rounds. They just have too much talent, and these other teams lower in the East don't have as much talent. But it would be, great to see an underdog come up. The next team I want to mention are the Orlando Magic. They are 25-32. Nikolai, he has 20 points per game, and he is an all-star. He also has 12 rebounds. Aaron Gordon, he has 15.8 points per game with 7.3 rebounds. Fournier, he has 14.9 points per game. And then Terrence Ross, who is an exciting and electric player, he has 14.7 points per game. Now, Orlando did just pick up Markelle Fultz in the trade at the trade deadline, and so we will see what happens with him. He wasn't too great in Philadelphia because of his so-called shoulder injury, but we will see if he's rejuvenized and can do some work for the Orlando Magic. Again, the Magic are in the 10th spot, and so it's going to be a little harder for them because the Heat have, I just believe the Heat are a better team than Orlando. One, because they have Dwayne Wade, and at the end of the game, if Dwayne Wade is in the game, he's going to play like O.D. Wade. He's going to give us glimpses of O.D. Wade. I'm very excited to see that, especially with this being the last time he's lacing it up for the NBA. And so I really cannot wait for the playoffs. The last and final team that I will be talking about today are the disappointing Washington Wizards. I say they're disappointing because last year they were in the playoffs, or actually for the last 2 years they were supposed to be competing for the Eastern Conference Championship, but they haven't done that, and that's why they are somewhat disappointing. Unfortunately, the man John Wall is out for the next year with a torn Achilles. He was scoring 20.7 points per game, which is a big hit for a team, especially now that we have passed the trade deadline. They do have Bradley Beal, Dwight Howard, Bobby Portis, and Jabari Parker, who are all averaging more than 10 points per game. Bradley Beal, he's at 25 points per game. Bobby Portis, he's at 15 points per game. Jabari, he's at 13 points per game. Dwight, he has 12 points per game, and he's adding another 9.2 rebounds, which having a double-double, you expect them to be a little higher, especially with Bradley Beal, Dwight Howard, and I will say Jabari, because he's had some injury problems, but there's still three players that really, for the last couple of seasons or since they came in the league, we've been watching out for them. They're supposed to be all-star, superstar. Bradley Beal is an all-star this year again, which is going to be nice to see what happens in this year's all-star game. I just want to make that point before I end this video. As you saw and heard, the hunt for the East playoff spots is close. It's pretty close. Now, I did not include 1 through 5, which I will put out a video. I promise you guys I'll put out another video, 1 through 5 in the East, and I plan to do the same thing, 6 through 11, and then 1 through 5 for the West. For now, I hope you did enjoy this video. Please, again, hit that bell, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Peace.